Realistic expectations. I know a lot of people that say they want to be a world champion, whether it's in MMA, jiu-jitsu, boxing, etc. They want to be a world champion, but they don't have a grind or a work ethic or habits that match that. They're lazy. And maybe by their definition, they're not lazy, but look at what the greatest in all these sports are doing. Look at how many days a week they train, how many hours a week they train. Okay. Now, are you matching that? Okay, say you're matching that. Are you going to be able to catch up to them just by matching their work ethic? That's assuming that your work is more quality than theirs by a significant rate. No, you have to outwork those that are already in those positions. That's what it takes. You have to have that kind of approach. Now, granted, you can make up time, right, in quality of training. You know, having great instructors. For example, if you say you want to do MMA and you want to be an MMA world champion, and you're out of a gym where there are 0 MMA fighters, or all the MMA fighters there are not doing very well, right? A bunch of zeros on the first part of their column there, then you're probably not getting the instruction that you need in order to get there. That's just being realistic. Go to any world champion's gym and let's look across the board. They might have a few guys that aren't doing great, but the majority of their gym is going to be positive. If you want to make it to the UFC, most of the time you need a 75 to 80% win ratio, right? If you look across your gym and everyone is upside down in their record, it's not going to happen, right? More than likely, you're not going to get the quality instruction and the push you need. Now, maybe it's different. And maybe it falls on the coaches are good, but they're not holding their fighters accountable. That's another issue, right? So coaches have this great technique, but none of their fighters show up. They don't have the work ethic. They don't know how to train. They train like 4 hours a week when real fighters are training 4 hours every day, right? Keep that in mind. Some guys train 4 or 5 hours a week and think they're putting in work. And world-class fighters are putting that much work every single day. They're getting a week's worth of training for the average person in one day. But be realistic expectations. If you're going to the gym with no up-and-coming fighters, no one out there killing it on the scene, then, you know, either it's a really green new gym, that's a possibility, maybe this guy just opened up, or, you know, maybe you're just never going to get there because they don't have the tools to get you there. I'm not telling people to switch gyms either, I'm just using an example. And let's say you wanted to be a long distance runner, but you never go to any long distance runs. It's stupid to believe that you're going to be able to win anything at that and ever gain ground. And then what happens? Time passes by, right? We have these fighters that at a certain age, like your career is dwindling. You only have a certain window in the sport. And as you get into your mid to late 30s, if you're not putting in that work ethic, how can you expect to ever do it? Oh, I'm going to put the work ethic in at some point. No, if the last 2 years has gone by and you haven't worked hard, and you haven't worked like a world champ, it's not going to change now. Be realistic, everyone. The other thing is how you train, the effort you put in while you're there. That is huge. I talk to my guys all the time about always having pressure, always having a pace. Your drilling should be harder than your sparring and rolling. When you drill a technique, you should be drilling as many reps as you can before that buzzer goes off to the next round. If the buzzer does go off and coach doesn't give you something different, you shouldn't quit drilling. You continue. You push yourself. You should be exhausted from drilling. You should need ice baths multiple times a week because of the way you drill. Not because of how you spar, because of how you drill. When you go out to competition and you're in a tournament or you're fighting, it should feel just like training. Your body's hardened for that. No cupcake grips. We're grabbing everything tight. Shout out to you, Clean. All right, everything. When I come on top, I'm sprawling my hips. I'm not just trying to run around. I'm making them feel my weight every single moment of a match. All right, that's how you approach your drilling. If your partner isn't suffering continually, you're not drilling properly. I understand, maybe you go easy until you get the technique right. But once you start getting the technique down, you need to learn to apply it properly. I see kids all the time, they throw up a little arm bar in practice while the other kid's not resisting, they get it. You go out there in competition, what happens? They get stacked and smashed. There's no little 5-year-olds pulling off arm bars from bottom guard in competition. It doesn't happen. Why? Because they don't drill it realistically, right? They're not putting any power into it when they're doing it. They're not yanking the posture down of their opponent. They're not holding that arm with all the grips that they got in their life, you know? They're coasting through the training practice. You don't coast through it. When you drill like an animal. That's why I like working with wrestlers so much. You know why? Because in a wrestling room, every technique on your drilling, it's fast-paced, it's repetitive, you go non-stop, you can do the same technique over and over and over again, and you do it hard, and they're used to doing it hard. A lot of gyms in like jiu-jitsu, for example, you're being mean if you do that. In MMA, oh, that guy's a douche. It's not the case. If you're in a real gym, everyone is pushing each other like that. They're not taking it personal. No, they're pushing each other. It's a competitive room. All right? God bless everyone. Have a great day.